You're watching 7 at 7. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. As usual, before we hit the headlines, I want to quickly take you through where India stands numerically, at least, on its fight against COVID-19. Overall cases, we are going to be touching, actually, we've touched the 18.5 lakh mark. We stand right now 18,55,745 positive cases, recording 38,938 deaths across the country. The worst hit states continue to be the state of Maharashtra, recording a total import of 4,50,196 positive cases with 15,842 deaths. Tamil Nadu is second with 2,63,222 positive cases and 4,241 deaths. Andhra has now overtaken Delhi at number 3. Andhra has now recorded 1,66,586 positive cases with 1,537 deaths. Mind you, even after that, Karnataka has overtaken Delhi as well, standing at number 4. We'll get you the numbers later. But this numerical import recorded just about 20 minutes ago by my producer. All right, there's enough that has gone down on the Sushant Singh Rajput death probe, to a limit where certain political outfits even dragged Aditya Thackeray's name in all of this. The latest coming in is breaking news of that. Maharashtra Minister, Shiv Sena leader Aditya Thackeray has broken silence over Sushant Singh Rajput death probe. Aditya Thackeray, in a statement that has just been released by him, says, "This is street-level politics, but I will keep my calm." Aditya Thackeray says dirty politics being played over Sushant's death. He adds, "I will not do anything that will malign my image or the image of Maharashtra, Sena and the Thackeray family." Aditya says those who don't believe in protocol are making false allegations to distract the probe. This is a statement given out by Aditya Thackeray. To put this in perspective on what coerced Aditya Thackeray to come out and make a statement such as this, to say that the level of politics with what he deems is dirty, with his name also now being dragged into the double death probe case. Of course, 2 suicides which were earlier labelled as suicides of Disha and Sushant. His name has now been dragged in, and Aditya Thackeray has come out with a clarification. I want to bring in our Mumbai Bureau Chief, Sahil Joshi, joining me live for more. Sahil, put this in perspective. Why was Aditya Thackeray today forced into making a public statement?
You know, Preeti, there have been a lot of WhatsApp messages and some YouTube blogs which were claiming certain sensational claims with respect to Sushant Singh Rajput's suicide case, allegedly suicide case, and Disha Salian's allegedly suicide case. And they were trying to link it with each other, as well as they were hinting that some young minister, including some BJP MLAs and the senior leaders, also claimed that some young minister was also part of some kind of a party, despite a Mumbai Police Commissioner clarifying that there was no party at Sushant's house, or for that matter at Disha Salian's house, where some Bollywood personality or a leader was attending it. And neither there is any connection between 2 cases, but these kind of things kept on today, including Narayan Rane, the senior leader of Bharatiya Janata Party and former Chief Minister, who is also a member of Parliament, also made certain sensational claims. And after that, it looked like that Aditya Thackeray had to come up with some clarification on the statement. The statement clearly says that he has nothing to do with any of the cases. He also said that you know, people have been spreading rumors because I have relations with some of the people who are working with Bollywood, but Bollywood being an industry, he needs to keep those relationships, and there is nothing wrong in that. But he emphasizes that he's a grandson of Shiv Sena Chief Balasaheb Thackeray, and he will do no wrong which will defame his family's name, his government's name, as well as the name of the state. He has alleged that the dirty politics is being played, and right now,
Sahil, before I let you go, this dirty politics that he talks about clearly stems from what Narayan Rane said today. I want to play that reaction out, but I'm going to ask you a question before I let you go. Is that purely in capacity with what Narayan Rane says, or is this the bona fide version of the Bharatiya Janata Party unit in Maharashtra, because he has levelled very, very grave charges?
See, till now, various leaders have spoken about this particular case, including that of Devendra Fadnavis, who is leader of opposition, but none of them made any specific claims with respect to that. They made some claims about hinting that there must be something wrong with Disha Salian case, or for that matter, Sushant Singh Rajput case. But today, Narayan Rane actually said all those things which have been making rounds on the WhatsApp and various social media messages, claiming that Disha Salian was raped, which has been completely denied by Mumbai police investigation and the postmortem report. He also claimed about some kind of a party happening at Sushant Singh Rajput's house, which has also been denied by Mumbai police. Also said that there is a CCTV footage available with them, which was claimed that there is no CCTV. So various other aspects which has been taking rounds in social media. Narayan Rane exactly said those things in those many words, but none of the BJP leaders in the past who have said that there needs to be a CBI investigation ever made such kind of sensational claims. Today, for the first time, someone from the BJP has made such kind of claim. So we have to accept, because he's being a senior leader, we should say that the allegations have been made from the BJP side. That's what we can say at this point.
So allegations made from the BJP side, but these are grave allegations. Appreciate you joining us, Sahil. And, you know, one thing we want to tell our viewers, these are allegations against a woman who is no more to defend herself or to give her version of what went down. So to say that Disha was raped and then thrown off a balcony without a probe being conducted, we leave it for our viewers to decide how, not just rational, how responsible is that? Listen into Narayan Rane.
रिया चक्रवर्ती ही सुशांतची मैत्रीण त्याच्याबरोबर राहायची 9 तारीखला ती तिथून सोडून गेली फोनही बंद केला बँक अकाउंटही बंद केले असे एक प्रमुख या सुशांतच्या केसमधली व्यक्ती आज 3-4 दिवस गायब झाली आहे पोलिसांना माहित नाही तिचं पोस्टमॉर्टम 11 तारीखला केलं 8ला तिने उडी मारली असं म्हणतात आणि 11ला पोस्टमॉर्टम मला सांगायचं आहे पोलिसांनी या आत्महत्येबद्दल अधिकची माहिती का केली नाही मला जी माहिती मिळाली आहे ती तिचं जे पोस्टमॉर्टम झालं त्या पोस्टमॉर्टम मध्ये पाहिलं तर तिने आत्महत्या केलेली नाहीये तिची पण हत्या आहे तिला तिच्यावर बलात्कार करून तिला मारलेला आहे त्यामुळे हे सरकार फक्त गुन्हेगारांना वाचवण्यासाठी हे सरकार आहे वाचवण्यासाठी या सरकारकडून दुसरं काही होणार नाही
All right, let me put this in perspective. This is a BJP, senior BJP leader making sensational claims. Is it responsible to say that Disha was raped and murdered? Her family has not made this claim. The probe has not found that out. But for a leader to say all of this. He also said that there was a party at Dino Moria's residence, and that's the news that we're breaking right now. Now, at the back of what leader Narayan Rane has said, actor Dino Moria now will be questioned in the Sushant Singh Rajput's death probe. Dino Moria has said there was no party at his residence on June 13th. Narayan Rane has actually named Dino Moria, saying that there was a party at his residence on June 13th in which Disha was also in attendance, and then, as per Narayan Rane, what unfolded was rape and murder of Disha. Dino Moria has now come out and refuted these charges. What remains to be seen is, will questions be asked? Will Narayan Rane be now even sued for making claims which have till now, at least, let's just go legally, till now have absolutely no legal or investigative backing? All right, so let's get to the other side of the story right now. Multiple developments taking place on all accounts. Yesterday, WhatsApp texts were released by the family of Sushant Singh Rajput after his father had said that on the 25th of February, the family had lodged a complaint with the Mumbai police saying that Sushant's life was in danger and they feared for his well-being. And a series of WhatsApp messages were released between the brother-in-law of Sushant Singh Rajput, who was an IPS officer, with DCP level officer DCP Dhaya in Mumbai. However, DCP Dhaya now refutes all those charges. He says no formal complaint was made. This was an informal exchange on WhatsApp. Listen in.
Sir, so in this particular visit, there was no complaint, nothing mentioned about the messages which are now being leaked, that a complaint was given to you, specifically you, the Bandra DCP Zone 9, that Sushant Singh should be saved.
See, this visit was in the first half of February. Yes. The WhatsApp messages, which are now being leaked, they are of 19th of February and 25th of February. I did receive those WhatsApp messages.
So please tell us specifically what were these messages, what all details were in that, and what he requested. Was it a complaint first?
Well, prima facie, these were basically messages which purported to show that all was not well between Mr. Sushant Singh Rajput and his live-in partner, and the family was concerned about the girl. These messages have the copies, you also have the copies, and you can just read them and make the most of it. Okay. So, in a telecon, I specifically requested, because he basically said that the girl, she should be hauled to the Bandra police station, and in an informal way, she should be pressurized. In fact, if you see in one of the WhatsApp chats, they are mentioning that a guy called Miranda, he should be given police custody for 1 day and then he is going to spill the beans. How am I supposed to take police custody of a guy without registration of a FIR or written complaint? I cannot do that.
So the allegations, the complaint which actually he made through the WhatsApp are very serious. Basically, he was trying to say that Sushant has actually slipped in depression. Riya is trying to take away all the money. So the allegations were far more very serious. So do you personally feel, or how the message was conveyed to them, that they should have gone a legal way in that particular moment instead of just WhatsApp message?
In a polite but firm way, the same was conveyed to him. You also consider the background. He is himself a very senior IPS officer. He understands law. So it was quite clear, without a written complaint, I am not going to act.
Sir, after this message been sent by you to him that he needs to file a written complaint.
In a telephone conversation.
In a telephone conversation.
Yes.
So after that, you tried to follow up, or OP Singh tried to get in touch with you, anything after that?
Why would I try to follow up in the absence of a written complaint? Once I have made my position very clear, the line is drawn. I need a written complaint to act against you. Just cannot haul up citizens to the police station in the absence of any written complaint. So, and no written complaint ever came either to the DCP office or the Bandra police station. A written complaint or an email complaint, nothing of that sort.
With less than 24 hours to go for the Grand Bhumi Pujan, the temple town of Ayodhya is bracing itself for the grandest celebrations ever. Prime Minister Modi will lead the ceremony to lay the foundation stone for a Ram Mandir, which Hindus across the world have been waiting for over centuries. Here are the details.
12:15 p.m., August 5th, 2020. The date and time will be etched forever in Indian history.
Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhaj Man Harana Bhava Bhayadarunam.
A little after noon, the Bhumi Pujan for the construction of a temple for Ram Lalla will be held on Wednesday, bringing a decade-old fight and centuries-old dispute to an end. The timing is significant. The belief is Ram was born in the very same Muhurat. Attending the ceremony will be a select group of guests. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will fly in the morning. 5,100 Kalash will welcome him to the temple town. They will be lit with diyas all along the route he takes. Only a few people will be allowed on the dais. On the podium with the Prime Minister will be RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, Governor Anandiben Patel and Ram Temple Trust Chief Nritya Gopal Das.
पूरी अयोध्या में दीप जलाया जाएगा और मंगल गान होंगे, प्रसाद वितरण होगा, बहुत से कार्यक्रम, बहुत से आयोजन मोदी जी के काल में रखे जाएंगे.
Veteran BJP leaders L.K. Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi will join the ceremony virtually. Only 175 guests have made the cut in these COVID times. 135 saints from across the nation from different spiritual branches will lead the rituals. India Today has exclusively accessed the model of the Grand Ram Mandir. This is how it will look once the work is completed. 5 domes with intricate carvings inside. A temple with 3 stories with height of 161 feet. And 318 pillars, 106 on each floor.
In less than 24 hours from now at the Abhijit Mahurat, the work on the Grand Ram Temple, which Hindus across the globe have been waiting for many, many years, is going to begin. Soil from 200 sacred places and water from 100 rivers will be used in the ceremony, which will see Prime Minister Narendra Modi in attendance. And people in this ancient town hope that this Grand Ram Temple is going to usher Ayodhya into a new era. With Dinesh Lal, Ankit Tyagi in Ayodhya, India Today.
Well, many who've seen Ayodhya till now would believe that hopefully the groundbreaking ceremony would break ground on development for a city that has been pretty much stuck in a time warp. With that, I'll come to the end of our show. 2 stories we want to touch upon. One, Mumbai is on red alert. Maharashtra is on red alert, certain districts with heavy rains lashing Mumbai and the neighboring Thane district. Now, the red alert has been issued for both the places. A landslide occurred on the Western Express Highway in Kandivali this morning due to the heavy downpour. Road traffic movement from the western suburbs towards South Mumbai stands affected, causing trouble for regular commuters. Several areas have been waterlogged, with Sion, Chembur and Parel being the worst hit. Suburban train services on the harbour line were stopped in the morning due to the waterlogging. According to Mumbai Civic Body, more than 230 mm of rainfall was recorded in the city in the last 10 hours. All right, so every day what we do is we end the show with a quick fact check. There are certain claims floating about, especially on social media, WhatsApp groups, which are not true, but are claims. Let's bust certain of these claims that you yourself might have witnessed. One of them is right here. Now, there is a claim which is making the round, seeming to suggest Bill Gates created a polio vaccine, disabled 47,000 children in India. The fact check of that is false. Why so? The allegations about the vaccine are completely incorrect. So false. This is a vitiating piece of news. Let's get you the other quick claim right now, which is making WhatsApp rounds and, of course, other social media platforms, where there is a claim which suggests Rajnikant apologized for traveling without pass during lockdown. The fact check, the viral apology tweet was made from a fake account. So no, he's not apologized just about yet. Well, so false again. With these 2 fact checks, it's a wrap on 7 at 7. But I do urge you to stay on. To the Point is up next. Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.